Good evening. Welcome back to another episode of the Bremner Square podcast. My name's Johnny, and joining me, we've got Adam Henderson. How are you doing, Adam?
Yeah, good. Obviously buzzing. So yeah, no, fantastic. Sort of end to the weekend. So yeah, all good. And what about you, Johnny?
Yeah, I'm all good, mate. Thank you. You can probably
Nice.
tell both our voices are quite croaky. Still from yesterday's bonkers match at Ellen Road. Never leave it simple. Never do it easy, do we, Adam?
No, I think that that's always part of it. I don't think it would be a Leeds team if it was never easy. So, but yeah, I mean, obviously, sometimes they give you scenes like that. You know what I mean? Like score that late in the game, and it's like, yeah, incredible. So I wouldn't have it any other way. So yeah.
We said last week, didn't we? It'd be kind of boring if we were mid-table. We're sort of jokingly, by the way, sort of saying, "Oh, it'd be boring if we were mid-table." This relegation fight is quite fun. I mean, they never leave it easy for us. And I was sort of came away from Ellen Road thinking, do you know what? I'm quite glad I'm quite glad we conceded that goal to then make sure those 90th minute scenes happen. Because I think if we'd have come away with a 1-0 win, it would have been, I don't know, just slightly more depressing. But those scenes were unbelievable, weren't they?
Yeah, absolutely crazy. I mean, obviously I know you were there, Johnny, but my brother was there, and they came. It was right in the corner where they celebrated, and
Really?
there was just people apparently chucking themselves over the seats, and just my brother got he had a big cut on his knee, bruises and
Really?
everything. Yeah, just everyone went ballistic.
Yeah.
This guy grabbed my brother's coat and was like just shaking him, with pure joy. And my brother was loving it as well. So I mean, but yeah, I mean, for me, I mean, I was at home and I found obviously a stream, and I my cat was lying on me, and when Joffrey scored, the cat went like flying into the air. Like I felt so bad afterwards. My cat was just mortally scarred. Just didn't look at me for the rest of the day. But so yeah, but incredible scenes. Yeah, brilliant.
Oh my God. Your brother must have had it amazing then. Did he manage to get forward to any of the players or anything?
He was about 3 rows from the front.
Oh, right. So
So he was.
relatively close though.
Yeah. He wasn't actually due to go, but he has a friend, and he said, "Do you want my season ticket?" And then he went.
Oh,
Luckily, I
why
was
is he
so
why is he
jealous.
giving up his season ticket for, I
Yeah,
mean,
I think because he went to the Villa game, this guy, and he wasn't happy, and he thought,
yeah.
it's going to be the same again. And yeah, obviously, it wasn't the same again. It was just incredible scenes. Yeah.
So obviously you mentioned your cat sort of probably never wants to watch football with you again,
Yeah.
in case of the reaction you're going to get. But what was your sort of thought process as Joffrey wins that header? Rafinha's put through relatively one-on-one on a bit of an angle and still got a defender to beat. What's your mindset and talk us through that goal from your perspective?
Well, I mean, I think Joffrey did really well to win that header. I mean, he's not the tallest of guys, and he managed to beat the defender, put a great header through. And I think Rafinha as well, just his anticipation of that ball getting through there, he was so on top of that situation, and then to have the confidence, he didn't have much room really, to take it around
No.
Krul and then put that ball in. I mean, absolutely world class, and then really. I know it's like point blank range, but you have to keep composed in that situation because
Yeah.
you can blaze those over. But yeah, brilliant, incredible from both the lads, and I think even from the defensive point of view, when Melier's got that ball and he's put that long ball forward, I think the entire thing is just really, really well done. And to consider that they've just conceded, but they've still got that mentality to go and win the game. I think it shows you a lot about the group of players. Yeah,
Shows you that Bielsa is still in that group, doesn't it? The sort of Bielsa mindset is still there. Because on Thursday it was questioned, like, if we still had Bielsa in charge, we'd be, more entitled and still go forward and still attack, and we wouldn't be laying down at 2 and 3-0. But I think you can tell it's still in that squad. They do care, and the reactions at full time of like Rafinha and Rodrigo, borderline in tears,
Yeah.
just shows you how much they really do care, and it sort of makes me feel bad. I was sort of questioning their attitude on Thursday. I was sort of looking at myself and my sort of comments I was thinking in my head on Thursday, thinking, "You stupid man!" Of course, they care. I mean, the reaction. I was in the cheese wedge yesterday. So obviously I'm literally in front of Kenny McLean's goal. I've just heard the announcer, I think his name's Lee, I think he's on Twitter, he's just gone, fourth officials indicated a minimum of 6 minutes at a time. I was about to turn to my dad because he's never usually like here, or I always sort of tell him what's sort of happening in a sense, like, oh, they've just sort of added 6 minutes on or whatever. I was about to turn to him and I've heard the Norwich fans go on. I've looked, I haven't even seen Pookie square it across. I've just seen McLean tap it in. I've thought, I've always believed it was a must-win game. And you know how in seasons previously we've all gone, oh, this is must-win. But there's always been a bit of a backup in the next couple of games. Like if you didn't win, you could always go, well, actually, if the results go for us that way, I did genuinely believe if we didn't pick up 3 points against Norwich, we were down. And then when obviously McLean puts it in, I genuinely am thinking like this image of the players sort of on their knees, sort of head in hand, looking around at the fans. I thought this is the image of a relegated club now.
Yeah.
And I think just what was going on in the stands, everyone was sort of like, well, that's it. Sort of people started to head out, and for them to keep fighting, for them to keep going and pushing forward. And the video of the Norwich fans, you're not singing. And I mean, the video with commentary of Bryn Law's commentary on LUTV is fantastic. But just hearing those fans in the background, and they were singing, "You're going down with the Norwich," and they bring out Leeds are falling apart again, and a part of me just wants to just, I don't know, just. I was so fuming when they bring those sorts of songs out, and at that point, I was just down as well. I was thinking, well, that's it, and then Joffrey up the other end. It was just obviously a completely different side to me. Your brother had perfect view of it. It's fantastic. I mean,
incredible.
Just sort of the game as a whole, we deserved to win by a country mile, didn't we? I thought 3 or 4 up by half time at least.
I mean, when half time came, I was thinking, oh, we could have had 3-4, here, and then, you're always fearful, God, if we don't take these chances, and they did end up going to score. And I was, it was just, when they scored, I mean, I just thought about all the previous chances. I was like, gosh, if we would have had like 3 goals there, like, it would be okay. But I'm kind of glad we didn't have 3, and then we went up and did what we did.
It's so much better, isn't it? It's so much better.
But I think, overall, I think we could have definitely put them to bed a lot earlier. I know they had, some chances, but I think they were half chances. It was just that one attack that they had that went and scored. I think that's when they really came alive. I know they hit the post and everything, the crossbar, but, I didn't really, there wasn't much of a threat from them for me. Like, but we could have done a lot better finishing. But yeah, as I said, I wouldn't have had it any other way. So yeah.
I was just say it'd be so nice of myself to sort of be able to tell myself in the first half, don't worry, even though Patrick's missed that 1-on-1 and Rafinha's playing crossbar challenge and Pascal Stroik's doing his best to miss an open goal, it's all going to be fine. It's all going to be fine because Joffrey's going to go up the other end and score. What a moment for him as well. Like 19 years of age. I think that's like I've sort of said before when he scored against Chelsea. I think he's the first player that I've celebrated who's younger than me, sort of scoring a Leeds goal. But he comes on, reminds me so much of Wayne Rooney as well. I don't know. I just sort of see that his build, the way he likes to sort of hold up the ball, the way he's won that header against Ben Gibson is outrageous. Yeah. I didn't even remember that happening. When I saw the highlights, I thought, what chance was this? This isn't the goal. I didn't realise he's leaped that high. I mean, it's all going back to the chances that we had. Rafinha, I thought generally the inclusion of Patrick Bamford was massive. And I think going into the game, I don't know if Marsh had it in his head when he was naming the team and when he was always only going to get 45 minutes. But I was so happy he played in the first 45, then the second 45, because it just gave everyone that lift going into kickoff. that Patrick Bamford is starting, and it's not him coming on at half-time in a really cagey 0-0 where everyone's quite nervous anyway. I don't know, it just gave everyone that sort of mental boost. Sort of, you may have had that yourself.
Yeah, no, I thought, as a player to see Bamford up front, I think it must be, because you're going to get the runs in behind, and I think, he's going to draw players, and I think that allows then, the creative types like you, Rodrigo, Rafinha, even, James, and I think it gives those players the freedom to do things that they probably haven't done and haven't been able to do in the last, since he's been out. So I think, yes. I mean, for me, I felt confident. I was like, the reaction of him coming on against Villa when we were down, there was just, I was like, God, imagine if he starts. Like, the lads are going to proper respond. And I think they did, it's just brilliant to have someone with that experience and with the quality, he's got. It's just a massive boost, not just for the players, but I think for everyone in that stadium and watching, at home as well.
Yeah, his hold-up play is fantastic. Just so composed. And I think they highlighted on Match of the Day too how Dan James is a very counter-attacking player. And it's not almost his fault. It's the way he plays, but straight into the box, running straight into the box when we don't really have any men up there. Bamford's held it up for the Rafinha chance, held it up, touch, waited for men to get in the box, crosses it in, inch perfect for Rafinha. I was sort of shouting goal line technology while I was in the stand, but no, it was nowhere near going in. Followed that up with a Struijk header. I was sort of almost commentating it out loud. I think I shouted, Struijk, back save, and then I'm like, oh. And I thought Tim Krul's made a wonderful save to deny Struijk a second time. They've all started running off for a goal kick. Is he missed that? Is he? I mean, hand in hands moment, isn't it? But it's just one of those first halves where you're like, we might have rued those chances.
It's. I think against probably not that Norwich. Norwich. I don't want to like.
No, go for it.
They're not the best side. I think when we play against Wolves, like that's. You're going to rue chances like that. You know what I mean? I think they're a good team. You know what I mean? And I just feel Norwich, they're not great. They've got some decent players, but they're just such a yo-yo club, and you expect to beat them. But when you're missing chances like that, you just think they're going to score later on, and that's what I was thinking. And as I said, we could have had like 3-4 there. It was just, I think, just unlucky moments. Rafinha with a point blank range and it hits the crossbar. A bit lower. The net is rippling.
So. It's a bit just literally that much, and it's in as well.
Yeah.
It's so frustrating. I think you echo actually what one of the guys behind me was saying in the stands. He was sort of like, "Oh, thank God these are rubbish," because he said that about. I'm going to go with about 15 times in the first half. Thank God we're playing these. I tell you what, and I was just like, in my head, I'm like, yeah, do you know what? You're right. Yeah. It kind of makes me feel worse when we're winning because I'm like, so if you play against any other team in this league, then we'll lose. But I think just in that moment, even though it was against bottom of the league, and I do think Gelhardt's effectively relegated Norwich now, that mathematically they can stay up. But I just think the way Watford picked up a win, Burnley and Everton have games in hand, I just think it's over for them personally. I was saying to my dad on the way out, surely like now there should be a rule. If you get promoted, relegated again, there should be a rule. You can't come back up next season. They're just playing in the Championship now as a sort of I don't know, what's it sort of called? Just any sort of team. Like they don't collect any points. It's just a free 3 points, and they just sort of play 46 games that mean nothing. Yeah. They shouldn't be allowed to come back up. Boring, because they'll be in the Premier League the season after. There should be a rule. There should be a rule in place. You can't come back up. You can't come back up at all. But I think Jesse Marsh's lineup, even sort of had a pivot in a sense of midfield 2 of Forshaw and Click, sort of just in front of the defence. I thought it was one of Click's best games this season. Maybe not Forshaw's, but he always puts in 100%. And that midfield really worked for me. I don't know about yourself.
Yeah, no, I thought those two together really I think they've got a good connection. You know, especially I mean, Click was just having an absolutely incredible game. You know, I think he ran that midfield, and usually it's Forshaw kind of who you think will run that, but I
Yeah.
think Click really sort of came out the shadows really, and he just I don't know what happened to him. He just went for it, took the game, you know, by the horns really, and yeah, he orchestrated it, and I think the players loved that. You know what I mean? When they're you got a midfielder just bossing it, yeah, because it's similar like Phillips. You know, you know
Yeah.
what he's going to do. He's so he gives you something else, and I think kind of Click. Not that he kind of turned into a Phillips kind of character. He was so good on the ball. He did some great, outfield passes, great close passes. You know, I thought he was just a complete package, and he looked, incredible. They really struggled to deal with him. Yeah,
He was very good. It was good to hear Klitschko scoring goals was coming back into the
yeah,
stands as
yeah,
well. It was nice. I mean, it's been a while since that chant got going, but you know when I hear that chant at first, I think it's going to die out after one or two
yeah,
goes. Kept picking up a bit, and I thought, hold on, there's a good chance here.
yeah,
He
yeah,
runs through with Dan James. This will be whoever's vlogging in the stands is going to be loving this for their YouTube clickbait title. And it's just like as James, I was thinking slot click through. We're still chanting it at this point, and he obviously has his shot, which is dramatically saved by Tim Krul, who I mean, Tim Krul did his best to wind the Leeds fans up.
yeah,
I'd say it
yeah,
worked. As he's put Pookie through at the end, actually, which we haven't spoken
yeah.
about. He's like thighed it towards Pookie. My dad's let out a screech I've never heard come from him before. And I was like, oh my goodness, Pookie's through. Melier saved it with his face. I mean, talk about the heart attacks. They really gave us one at the end there.
Yeah, I was thinking, it's just our luck. They're going to get that one chance again, and then
Yeah.
it happens, and then I mean, absolutely brilliant from Melia. I mean, I think I was hiding behind my hands and
Yeah.
watching my
Yeah.
TV,
Your
and
cat's already gone off at this point.
yeah, I mean, long gone. I mean, if that would have gone in, probably would have tipped the table over. But I mean, but it was just absolutely brilliant from Melier. I mean, he's I know he's letting a lot of goals and whatnot, but it just proves to show he's a quality young keeper for his age. He's absolutely brilliant, and it's just it doesn't matter what body part he saves it with. It's a great save. You know what I mean? He's made himself big. I think he's really put Pookie off there. And he could
Yeah,
have stabbed
massively.
that any other way, and I think he still probably would have saved it. To be honest, I think he's just done absolutely brilliantly. Yeah, amazing.
No, he's done fantastic. I think if Tim Krul was allowed an assist in that game in the last minute, I don't know what I would have done. He did his best to try and put the referee off with the VAR decisions. By
Yeah,
the way, I don't know if we've ever mentioned I love VAR. What a
yeah.
great what a great bit of technology that phenomenal. Great bit of
I
technology.
feel it actually worked kind of good. Actually,
Yeah.
I mean, especially when they got the penalty, and then I was like, thank God, there's some sense being shown. And I was thinking, God, you know what? They hate Leeds, and they're gonna give it, And then I was
Yeah.
thinking they're gonna give it. I mean, I don't know why he had to go to the screen. To be honest, I mean, from what I was seeing on this TV, it was just like that's not a penalty. Like
Well,
VAR.
the thing is, I saw it from an angle of Ayling was almost the first player I saw, and
Yeah,
he was sort of covering Rashica in a way from my view. So I've just seen Ayling almost go in with 2 feet on
yeah,
Rashica. I've just gone, oh, that's Stonewall.
yeah,
Brilliant, that's it. And I've seen, oh no one's actually got the ball and picked it up and gone to take the penalty, and then your magic purple screen comes up in the corner. It's, oh, here we go. And then someone's actually said, oh, don't worry, Mike Dean's in the boardroom. Like, this isn't getting given. And then he's turned around and sort of delayed a bit, sort of weird Lord Sugar apprentice, you're fired style, and a little one whistle. Oh, one whistle. I was waiting for him to do a little point. He sort of had everyone on
yeah,
edge for a bit. The referee, he was loving it. But like you say, correct decision, really.
yeah. Absolutely. I think we could have probably. I think there was a moment with James, wasn't there? Up the other end.
Yeah, I
I think he
that
got
that
pushed,
looked
didn't
like
he?
a penalty to me.
Yeah. I mean, because I think someone else, another team, it might. I don't know if it was Burnley, but I don't
Burnley had
know.
a man sent
But
off for that at the
yeah,
weekend.
and this is I think the big talking point. There's no consistency to it for me. Like it does really well with that Ailing challenge. Yeah, it wasn't a penalty, But then that one was really strange to me. It's like, that they don't look into that a bit more. But yeah, I mean, thankfully it was, the alien one was overturned. I mean, I think if that was given, that would have been, big questions about VAR.
I did think though when they equalised, I thought, well, why didn't you give them the penalty and then we could have had like half an hour to get back into this game. Never mind 6 minutes. You could have given this one back 20 minutes ago. Give them the penalty and rewind the clock. I was sort of thinking, but no, I mean, when I've watched it back, obviously on the train home, I thought, yeah, never a penalty and VAR has done his job. I've seen the Dan James clip from one angle, and it looks like he's just barged him to the ground. Similar, I'd say, to Gelhardt against Wolves, and that was given. So, I like you say, consistency is still to be there, but when it goes for you, you're not going to really complain, are you? I guess I know people say it balances out over a season, but in key crucial games like this, they have to get it right because for both sides on Sunday, it was absolutely massive. As soon as we cap off the Norwich game, and I really want to not stop talking about it, but we do have a podcast to get on with. The reaction of the players, the manager, the board was so fascinating to watch on the clips. I've just spent the last 24 hours indulging myself in the videos that the club have been producing, the bench cams. One thing I do want to say is, do you think they record the bench cam for every game, but they just haven't posted one because we haven't won?
I think they do.
because they've released so many videos, like all the angles of this goal, bench cam of this, commentary cam came out today. I thought, they haven't just chosen. Surely they've been doing this for like the Villa game, and they've just gone file, delete on that one, and like try and re-upload it.
I genuinely think they probably must go. Yeah, we're not releasing this. We'll wait for a win.
Yeah. Can you imagine the views on a dugout cam versus Villa? I think that the ratio of dislikes to likes would have been ridiculous. But the reaction of the players on the dugout, I love seeing like in what order even like the substitutes stand up and sort of get excited about the chance, and you see everyone running over the photos of Jesse Marsh, and I think the big one, Victor Orta, sort of in tears. Would that have got fans back on side? Has it got you back on side?
I think it would have. I mean, look, I mean,
this is a no.
there's questionable decisions for me that he's made.
Yeah.
I'm not doubting his passion for Leeds. I mean, that's clear to see. With the emotion, he showed, and he is so passionate about the city and the club. But I think there's just things at times where he can let himself down. But as I said, I'm a bit 50-50 with Orta. I just think, I mean, with the the whole Bielsa situation, I think they're all responsible for that, how they dealt with it. But especially with the players, what I mean, the signing of players. I know Bielsa would have had a say, but like when they went for Aronson, I mean, a player like that I think could really add something to the team. But I just don't feel there was a lot of sort of oomph to get him really, and probably other seasons gone by with other players. But I mean, he's a good guy. I think he's passionate, and I respect him. What he's done for the club. He has brought in some fantastic players. We can't forget that. I mean, the Rafinha deal is world class. How they've done that for that amount of money. Business is incredible there. And it's just it's a bit like with VAR. It just doesn't seem consistent really with with things. But he's a good guy, and I just think there's no doubt in his passion for this club.
Yeah, I think that certainly does show the passion. Actually, I went to what's now called the Bielsa after the game, or the Peacock, as many fans will know it. I've come out of the pub with my dad, and I've thought, we're at a time now where you might just see the players driving off because it was after the game. As soon as I've said that, I've looked left. Angus Kinnear's just driven out of Ellen Road. I was like, is that Angus Kinnear? And it was just sort of, in a way, I was sort of going to, little wave or something, but he sort of drove off into the distance. And so seeing Orta crying and stuff, I don't know, they do care. They do care. I don't know how many people it's turned back onside. I can definitely say it's not a publicity stunt to get people back
No.
onside. Not at all.
Yeah.
But far from it. It's just passion and emotion. We saw it when we got promoted. We're seeing it now. And if we do stay up, I'm sure he'll be crying more tears. But just the feeling of waking up on a Monday and we've won. That hasn't happened since West Ham away. That seems like a lifetime ago, doesn't it?
Yeah, it was a weird feeling. Like I was waking up like Leeds won yesterday, and because I think you make the day of it, don't you? Like you get up and obviously I think about other things, but like I get up and
My 24 hours purely on Leeds United, and that's it. It won't switch off.
But like I got up on Sunday, and I was thinking, it must win immediately, and then I listened to Marching On Together for a bit, and then watch the game. But yeah, I mean, a great feeling. It felt like it's been years. I don't know why. It just felt super long. I don't know. It's not that long, but like it really felt like a lifetime. And
I think it has been long. It has.
Yeah, I mean, I think with the players, like just seeing the relief on their faces, I mean, like with Rafinha, Rodrigo, and everyone. I think everyone just looked like they'd been completely bereft of a win, and
massively.
And I think they were really feeling it, especially after that Villa game. But yeah, brilliant feeling. Can't describe how great it feels. Yeah.
No better way to win. No better way to win. Part of me saw Bamford sprinting down a touchline. I thought, the last time you celebrated like this, you're out for another 3 months. Please, for the love of God, any fan, do not jump on him. Just keep him in a little glass box and let him celebrate on his own. No, the scenes were fantastic. And
yeah,
I do think, like, even though the Huddersfield game got us promoted and we had the Barnsley game after the Swansea game, we still look at Hernandez's goal as the goal that got us promoted.
yeah.
I do think if we do stay up, and we've still got 9 games to go, a long way to go, a lot of football to be played, I do think we'll look at that Joffy goal if we do stay up and go, that was the moment where we sort of believed.
Yeah. I think that's a goal that will go down in history for me. I think that's not just for staying up, but I think for the future, for stabilising, for going that extra, for even going for maybe a top 10 finish. I think that goal could have just made that completely possible. You know what I mean? I think not that it's not possible for the future, but for now and for next season.
Definitely.
I mean, not that we're not safe, but I mean that's a huge leap, and I think that goal is. I mean, that will live long in Joffrey's memory. I mean, that must be.
Massively.
He must be completely. That must have been. I'd love to know what that feeling is like for a player. You know what I mean? Just to run into that corner and it's just pandemonium. Like everyone loves you, and it's like you know what I mean. I mean that whole stadium going to be talking about you, and then people watching. But yeah, incredible. That is a season-defining moment for me.
Yeah, when we win the Champions League next season, we can go, that goal was the reason we're still here now. We can't win it next season. We need to qualify for top 4 in 2 seasons' time. When we win the Champions League, that was the reason why we've won it. Like you say, I know he's not a Leeds fan. I know he's a Scouse lad, but I know, like, is he Everton fan? Everton, Liverpool?
I think he's Everton. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, but he must absolutely love it. I think he gets it as well. Everton's a similar club to Leeds in the same position we are in now, but also in the sense that giant club, not hitting the heights that they should have been the last few seasons or whatever, back to where they sort of belong now, and both can be toxic on the pitch, in the ground, and stuff like that. I think he must get it, and like his reaction, there was nothing showy off about it, no sort of trademark celebration, no sue or anything like that.
Yeah.
Just pure emotion. You can see in his face how much it meant to him. And I think his mum sort of is quite vocal on Twitter and stuff, and she must be absolutely buzzing, his whole family, friends. And What a moment for him. What a moment for
Incredible.
him. 19 years of age and he's doing
Yeah.
that. And I'm 20 years of age talking about it on the podcast. It sort of shows the levels in how our lives have gone, really, doesn't it? But no, absolutely fantastic. And
Yeah.
before we move on to the Wolves game, Adam, I sort of wanted to talk about how, I mean, this sort of does link into the Wolves game, but how much a 90th minute goal like that can spur us on. Because if you look at who we're competing against at the moment in the relegation battle, Norwich, let's say they're down, and this is going to look fantastic when they stay up and we go down. But let's say they're down. Yes, Watford have won. Everton are in a right state from what it looks like. If you sort of compare our Sundays, you've looked at the fans getting chanting, "You're not fit to wear the shirt," booing them off, a bit like how it was against Villa for us.
Mhm.
Compare that to our jubilation. Sort of just that 90th minute winner can really push us on that little bit further, better than if we'd have won 1-0 in a sense.
Yeah, there's that sort of never give up mentality, which I think, I mean, that as you said, that late winner, that just proves that it exists in that squad. You know, they didn't drop their heads. You know, they were just wanting to restart the game and get at them. You know, they knew they could get something. But yeah, I mean, with Everton, you know, doing really badly, and then you completely look at us. I don't think they could have managed something like that with the kind of situation
Yeah.
that they're in. I think because you know they've got some wonderful players. Obviously, it's a big football club, and that they're in complete turmoil at the moment. And obviously the fan reaction, you know, says a lot with Everton. But I think for us, it's put us in a really strong position, not just like on the points side of things, but I think just with the whole mentality that is going to be
Yeah.
running through that squad now, it's going to be so, you know, positive, and it's going to be, you know, they go to Wolves and they'll be full of confidence. You know, they won't fear going there. You know what I mean? I mean they've got a great result, and you know I think obviously Calvin might be probably sort of coming
Could be,
back at
yes.
that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you know it's another boost, and I think you put a guy like Calvin Phillips on. I mean that the team's just going to be like, oh, gee,
Yeah.
wow, you know
If you think
we're
that
getting.
Bamford lift was big, then
Yeah,
here's
and
this
then you know
one.
you get a player like that, which is literally the spine of the team. Everything goes through him. I think it's going to be a huge boost, and I think our mentality is just you know off the charts at the moment, and you know we can take that and push on against Wolves. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, if roles have reversed yesterday, say Everton win in the last minute against
mm.
who are they playing against Wolves, effectively at Goodison Park, and we've lost to Norwich, say, or even drawn, you think, oh, Everton are going to be right up for it now.
Yeah,
Look at them, they've got
yeah,
Newcastle Thursday. They've just scored in the last minute. They'll go in that, go in that, and it's how the mentality can just shift. I think, like you said, that 90th minute goal, they're going to go to Wolves now and not fear anything, and
yeah,
hopefully this Wolves preview that we do now doesn't make us fear anything, because I was about to come with a stat that they've only conceded 23 goals this season, and that they've only 3 teams have conceded less, and they're Chelsea, Liverpool, and Man City. But they are going to go into this game with no fear, and like you say, we don't know what the team is going to be.
mm.
Phillips should hopefully be back almost
Yeah,
definitely after the international break, maybe for this Wolves game as well. Wolves are a good side, and we
yeah,
mentioned if this was, Norwich, yeah, okay, great, they're probably going down. It's scraped past them. Wolves have ambitions of their own for the back end of this season. They're not hovering on the beach in mid-table. They're looking for potential European football this season. So
yeah.
Molyneux, certainly they're probably going to be nervous. And do you think they'll be worried of us?
I think they will be. I mean, you know, they're not going to get the kind of space that they probably did. You know what I mean against us, and I think I just think this facing a team that's just won in the way they did, I
Yeah,
think it's not going to be easy because those, as I said, those Leeds players, they'll want it. You know,
yeah,
they
massively.
won't just want to stop here. They'll want to keep going,
Mm,
and in a sense they have to keep going. You know, we're not out of the mixer yet, but we just have to keep going. And I think that Wolves team will fear that. You know, I mean they're a good team. You know, they've got some world class players, but I think if we're on our game, I think we can cause anyone problems. And I think, that Norwich win. I know they're bottom of the table, but I think this will just. I mean, this squad now will go there, and I think they can give them a proper run for their money. And I mean, I feel good about it, but yeah.
Like I mentioned, they are relatively hard to break down. The sort of best goals against outside of the top three. Connor Cody in that sort of back three, back five, however they sort of want to play. Or do they even still play with that under their new manager, Bruno Lage? I'm not too sure. I think they do still. Either way, a very, very solid defence that they've got there. Finishing wise, we weren't on our A game on Sunday, that's for sure. How sort of clinical are we going to have to be against Wolves to take anything away from Molineux?
I think we have to be a lot better in front of goal. I think on another day, like players like Rafinha and like Bamford, I think they'll take chances. I really do. I mean, I think as well, it's for some reason. I think for me, like you go to an away ground, and I think there's you might see the pitch a bit differently. I think obviously at Ellen Road, it's tight and it's quite cross. I think Wolves, it's quite spread out. I mean, I think that could help. That's just me, but I think we're going to have to be a lot more clinical. We need to take chances because you let Wolves break, and I think there's they've got some quality players up front, and they can really hurt you. And especially when their defence is so compact and they're so, very sound defensively, we probably aren't going to get 15, 20 chances. You know what I mean? Like we're going to have to. I think it'll be a very cautious kind of game, and we'll just wait for that right moment to get in behind and to, for a cross or something. And we're going to have to be on our A game up top, definitely.
I mean, usually with Wolves, the man that you always get worried about is Adama Traore, but obviously he's gone off to Barcelona now, is enjoying life in sunny Spain. So I think a lot of their quality recently has come from the sort of midfield of not Raul Jimenez, he's a striker, Ruben Neves, João Moutinho. But recently, I mean, they beat Watford 4-0, beat Everton 1-0, two teams who were struggling massively. Palace have beaten them away from home 2-0.
Yeah.
West Ham beat them. Arsenal beat them. Sort of in terms of talking about their home form, Liverpool have beaten them. Norwich won there in the cup. They are there to be got at, and I do follow quite a few Wolves fans on Twitter. And a couple of weeks ago, when they got beaten by Palace, they weren't happy at all. And if you flash back to the reverse fixture when we drew 1-1 at Ellen Road, Gelhardt came on, Rodrigo 90th minute penalty. We did have a much weaker team against them, and we put up a really, really good fight.
Yeah, I think with players coming back, and that's going to be tough for them to deal with, because we did have a real mishmash kind of squad there. It wasn't at all up to its full, what it usually is. But I think by the time we play them, we should have a lot of, especially like with Bamford, he should be fully fit. I think to go even longer this time. You know what I mean? He's going to have a lot of time to train, and that'll do him good. And then Phillips as well. He's basically nearly there. And I think he could feature. It might not be for the whole thing, but players like that in the team, Lee's become a completely different animal, I think, to face. And as I said, there are cracks to be sort of looked at there. They're not completely assured. I mean, they've beaten Watford and and Everton, but I think just at the moment with that win, it's a completely different side they're going to face. I don't think they're going to face someone who's lost 6 on the bounce. I think they're going to face a team that has completely got form and positive mentality back into them. But as you said, definitely there for the taking. We can turn that crowd on them, and I think home crowds, when they get rowdy and when they get a bit hostile, it's so tough for those players. I mean, as similar to the Villa, the Leeds crowd completely turned on them.
Yeah,
everything. every misplaced pass, everything. And I think that could be the same at theirs. They're a very passionate fan base, Wolves, and it probably won't take much. I think they'll expect to probably beat Leeds, but I think with, as I said, with the players coming back, we can definitely get into them, and I think exploit the cracks that they have.
I think they put on quite a. Did they put on like a light show before the game? Did they have like fireworks or something before the game at
So,
Molineux?
yeah, I've seen something about that. Yeah,
I don't know whether that's meant to improve their defensive. Is there something that they puts in the air that makes them defend better? I don't know whether we should try that at Leeds or not. What are your thoughts on a light show before the game?
No, I
No.
can't. I just play marching on together, and that'll do. I
Yeah.
don't. I mean, I know there's some great stadiums that can do that and everything. I just don't think it would look good at Ellen Road. I mean, it would just look a bit weird for me.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at like Atletico Madrid, their big stadium like the Metropolitano. I mean, that's probably okay. That might
Yeah,
look
that
quite
just
good
about does
there.
it. Yeah.
It would probably fit. It's quite glamorous and everything, really pretty. But Ellen Road, it's rugged. You know what I mean? It's gritty, and I think it doesn't need a light show. It just needs the crowd make it what it is, and then marching on together, and that's it. We don't need that. And I just hate them in general. But
yeah, I could not get behind it at all, to be honest. I mean, Wolves probably pull it off okay because it's sort of their thing. I don't know. I mean, I'm not a fan of it myself. Can you imagine like a firework going off next to Ilan Meslier before kickoff, like every game? No, not a chance. I would not like that at all. Thank you.
No,
I did think when they, I do like the fact when they played I Predict a Riot after the game.
yeah.
I sort of thought they haven't done this for a while. Oh yeah, because it was Burnley was the last time we've won at Ellen Road. That's why I thought they dropped it for a bit, but no, we just haven't won a game of football. That was quite good. I don't want them to lean into the think they can sort of play that and then maybe do that as goal music or whatever. I don't.
No.
Because that full time, I like that. Gets everyone up again, sort of thing. Marching on together pre-game, yeah. The day they introduce goal music, clappers, light shows, might not be attending.
I have a big thing with goal music. I can't
Really.
I despise it. I mean, Leicester, when they won, we went away there, and they had all the clappers, and then the goal music came on.
What was the one they have?
It's infuriating. It's I mean, it really just takes away from the fact that they scored a good goal. For me, it's just like, well, the goal's obsolete. You've done that. So if they put goal music at Ellen Road, I think there would be like a.
I think people might walk out. I think people might walk out.
I think there would be there would be a protest.
I'd happily let VAR disallow every goal if we had goal music.
Yeah,
I'd almost encourage it, to be honest. I cannot stand the thought of goal music at Ellen Road. Can you imagine what sort of song would they? Can you imagine Pump It Up playing after? Because they did that for the promotion.
No,
not a chance. Not a chance. No, but I mean, I'm sure the light show will be all good and proper on Friday. You get to watch on Sky, and to be honest, I'm quite glad we're playing on Friday. I think if we had to wait another week until a Sunday, it sort of drags it out a bit. I want the game to come as soon as possible.
Yeah.
If we can get buoyed by a potential Everton loss on Thursday as well against Newcastle, because Newcastle, as much as they lost to Chelsea, it was in the last minute. It was 1-0. They look good. They look good. And an Everton loss followed by a Leeds win would cap off a fantastic way to go into the international break.
Yeah, huge. I mean, as you said, I don't mind playing on the Friday. I think it's kind of good. I want to keep it going as quickly as possible. I think you don't want to. It's annoying that there's a break now, but it is kind of good in a sense. But I think I'd rather play on that Friday. Because we need to keep it as close as possible for me. And with Everton then playing on the Thursday, if they get a bad result, obviously, I'm sure the Leeds players will be aware of it, and the manager, they'll be, so thrilled to see that, and then they go, right, lads, we can put a bit of daylight here, in between us, and yeah, but I don't mind that, and yeah, I'm looking forward to the Friday. Yeah,
Yeah, it'd be really annoying if they put an international break in now,
yeah.
just after that game, after the Norwich game. Just 2 weeks off. Yeah, 2 weeks off. Go on, off you go. Play for your countries. Play for your countries. That would be very, very annoying. Should we get a score prediction for the Wolves game then, Adam? What are you thinking?
I'll go. I'm feeling a 1-0 Leeds for me. Yeah,
Take it. I'll take it.
yeah.
2-0. 2-0 Leeds. Would
Cool.
you take a point?
Yeah, yeah, I
Yeah.
would. I think it's a tough place to go, and I think they're pushing on. So I think, yeah, definitely a point. Yeah.
Yeah, point away. I was going to say they're looking for Europe. I don't want to end the podcast on too much of a negative, but you were at the Aston Villa game on Thursday. First game back since the
Um,
Arsenal game, was it for you? Since
yeah,
the,
yeah,
the 4-1 defeat at Arsenal?
yeah. I've been all losses I've been to. Um, I tell you,
Don't go again.
I feel like I'm cursing Ellen
Yeah.
and then I don't go, and then they win. But I mean, I think that game was just dreadful, absolutely dreadful. I mean, there were chances, and I think like when they came out second half, they were going for it, really going for it, and it was a lot of great atmosphere.
Yeah.
Fans were getting behind it, and then suddenly that second one went in. God, it just dropped. Everything dropped. There was no atmosphere after that. It was hostile towards the bench, towards the board, and then towards the players as well when they were making mistakes. And I just think overall they got it wrong. The team for me, having Cock in the middle, it just didn't work.
No.
Didn't work at all. He's. I mean, I think even when they brought Rodrigo off, against Norwich, I think you could see there was a drop in the
Yes. Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
the play for me.
Yeah.
Obviously, I don't know if there was a problem with Rodrigo. It was, he needed a rest, but
He looks shattered, to be fair, but I don't
yeah,
know.
I mean,
How.
it's. I just, when he brought him on, I was concerned, just with the drop off. But yeah, I mean, Aston Villa was dreadful, absolutely dreadful. And yeah, I mean, their third goal, which Chambers scored, was an absolute worlder. I mean, from where
Yeah.
I was, you could. Oh, what a finish! I mean, but I've never seen so many people leave. I've never seen that before. Around me, it was just bare. It was like being back in League One or the Championship or something. It was just like the stadium was gone and everyone was just leaving. Like there were these guys next to me, and as soon as the second one went in, they were just like, I won't swear, but like they were like, I'm not watching this,
Yeah.
and they were just.
Which stand were you in?
I was in the West Stand, so I was right down
Okay.
the far end, and just oh god, the cot was just completely going, and and then if you got the Villa fans like, is there a fire drill, and it looked like a fire drill, it
Yeah.
really did. People just going, and sad to see, but to know that in about 3 days' time that was going to be what it was on Sunday. It's just a complete transition.
Yeah.
It's just a completely mental transition, and yeah, but enough of the Villa game. It's done. We've got to win, so that's all good.
I was just a bit scared there would be a bit of a hangover from the Villa game, but the atmosphere from minute one was very good. I do think that has a bit to do with Bamford starting. I don't know. It might not be. Just in my head, I went in a bit more positive. If it was unchanged, it'd just be a bit like, a bit annoying. And the atmosphere was from minute one. But even when we went 1-0 up, there was still, when it wasn't going right, you could still feel the nerves from the Villa game. But hopefully now what happened in the last minute on Sunday kicks it out of everyone. I do want to say from the Villa game, actually, I hope Junior Firpo's injury is hopefully he's doing okay. Hopefully he can get back to full recovery as quickly as possible. And we all wish him well. And it sounds like I'm sort of taking advantage of the injury, but I just think at the weekend with Ayling at right back, being allowed to play at right back, which allowed Stroikini Rente obviously came back in, and then it had Forshaw clicking midfield. And even though Dallas was at left back, which isn't his natural position, it just felt better. And even if Firpo was fit, I'd still sort of put him on the bench.
Yeah, as I said, yeah. I mean, I hope he's all good, and I hope he recovers as quickly as possible. I mean, you never like to see any player going off on a stretch. It's the worst kind of sight to see in football. And but I think with the movement from Ayling going into that right back, it looks so much more assured for me. And I said that's not knocking Firpo. He is
No,
a
yeah.
great player, but it worked really, really well. And I think Jesse will take that and be like, actually, that was pretty good. That
Yeah.
and I think he'll recognise that, and I think he'll probably go with that. I think against Wolves in the future.
Yeah, hopefully. I imagine it will be unchanged against
Yeah,
Wolves.
yeah,
Bamford, hopefully being able to play a bit more than 45 minutes. He did look knackered
yeah,
on
yeah,
on Sunday at halftime. He did look absolutely knackered. The, I mean, he's left it late, but he's got in there. Michael Brown. He said, I hope Firpo was watching the Dallas performance at left back. Dallas was steady, solid, busting to get up and down that touch line and holding the defensive shape. All things Firpo is not doing. Then goes on to say Dallas should be first choice left back, then Hilda or Pascal when everyone is fit. Firpo is not an upgrade on Alioski, which I think, to be honest, there's been a conversation on social media, and my dad said it to me at the weekend. I kind of agree in a sense from what I've seen. I don't
yeah.
know if you
No,
share the opinion.
I agree. I think Alioski suited us a lot better for me. I think Firpo's really struggled. I mean, he's had glimpses, but Alioski was always there. He was always, I mean, his aggression and I think how he
Yeah.
played with the ball, he really worked that left side really well. And I think Firpo, I mean, he was terrible against Aston Villa, absolutely woeful. And I think he just needed to come out, because he wasn't doing well. And I do think Alioski is and was a far better left back for me. Yeah.
Yeah. I think the annoying thing for Firpo is that Rodrigo, I think, was equally as bad
Mm.
against Villa and was yanked off at half time. Forshaw wasn't at his best, I didn't think. He's obviously got credit in the bank. Firpo doesn't. I don't think Rodrigo has too much, but then he was able to sort of redeem himself on Sunday with a goal,
Yeah.
showed his passion. And to be honest, before the Villa game, I thought Rodrigo's actually been one of our better players. And Firpo has had moments where it's like, do you know what? There's a player there. Against Man United, I thought he was good when he came on.
Yeah.
I thought he was good. And it's weird. We'll end on this actually. I think Michael Brown said that Mars should not be playing A-League at centre back or Dan James in sort of like a forward false nine kind of position, or sort of just in the striking sort of position. The balance was sort of right on Sunday, and it sort of makes me feel bad when I was sort of getting angry at Bielsa, like, why are you playing A-League at centre back?
Yeah.
Why are you playing James up front when a new manager does it as well?
Yeah.
And it's sort of taken an injury for that to stop. And I don't know, it's just, are we all quite dumb? Is there something in this plan of Ayling at centre back and James up front?
It doesn't work. I mean, every time Ayling plays at centre back, he looks out of his depth for me. He doesn't look comfortable.
Yeah.
But at right back, he changes. He's a different animal.
He's so good. So
yeah, a lot better. And whoever's, just forget Ayling at centre back. He belongs on the right. Just keep him there, and let's just leave him.
Yeah,
So,
I think whoever made it come out from the Arsenal academy that he was played at centre back. For goodness sake, why did you have to let that information come out? Because everyone, when he plays at centre back, when he played with Carl Bartley at centre back in the Arsenal academy, no, he's so much better at right back. The way he sort of bombs forward, I felt sorry for him yesterday actually because we play narrower. He was sort of looking for the winger down the line and no one was there. And it's like, oh, actually, what can I do here? But even though the final ball maybe not been there on Sunday, I just thought his attacking positioning has always been very good.
yeah.
Fitness levels to get up and down, didn't muted myself there for no reason. I think that's a sign that we've spoken about the Norwich game. 55 minutes we've done of the podcast, just enjoying the Norwich game, enjoying life after a win. And who knows, I was going to say maybe the last one of the season. Hopefully not. Hopefully not. Hopefully we will stay up I'll tell you what, Adam. We said weekly. I'll ask you the question. 2 weeks ago, it was a no. No. 2 weeks ago, it was a yeah. No, 2 weeks ago, it was a no. A week ago, it's a no. Today, will we stay up?
Yes.
Ha! We're progressing. We're progressing. Can't wait to hear that no on Sunday when we talk about the Wolves game. But no, really looking forward to the Wolves game. Finally, it feels like we can be excited again about being Leeds fans. Thank you very much for coming on, Adam, as usual. Michael, thank you very much. Excellent podcast as always, guys. Thank you, Michael. Thank you for all the comments. You bring the interaction levels up. Thank you very much. Good comments as well. Hope you all have a good week. Stay safe and enjoy the Wolves game Friday.